Welcome to the. Is it recording? It is
It
recording.
says this meeting is being recorded. It says that biggest hazard up on top there.
Beggar and Hazard actually is the phrase. But anyway, welcome to Bone, the best ever episode of Bonehead Weekly. Why is this the best ever episode of Bonehead Weekly, Brawny guy?
Well,
If you're watching
hey,
the YouTube version of this, you can
yeah,
clearly see that James is a some sort of woodsman. Maybe he's a lumberjack and he's okay. He sleeps all night and he works all day. Likes to wear women's clothing and hang around in bars.
yeah, we get it. We get it.
I'm a lumberjack and that's okay. Do 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 do. Sell me some paper towels, bitch.
What an eccentric performance. Keeping them Monty Python
You like
illusions
my
going.
Universal hat? I got something on it right here. I don't know, but I saw it across the way. And you know me and hats. I bought two or three of them while I was down there. I also got one that says the Krusty Krab.
Will it fit everyone? Is it like a one size fits all hat?
It's extended. I don't like the fitted hats, so they have to.
Yeah. They need. I just wondered if it was truly a universal hat.
Oh, well, maybe not Andre the Giant, but it's solid black. See, I kind of
Well,
like.
he don't wear hats anymore.
Yeah, well, who knows? I mean, he can be the living dead giant.
I'd watch that movie if anybody wants to make it.
We would make that picture.
Oh, we would. I would write that right now.
We would write
And if
that
we could get
right this
permission,
weekend.
yeah, if we could get permission from his estate, it would be about him. I respect that man a lot.
I
No, the
do.
reason I think you're alluding to this being the best episode ever is that,
Call back.
um, uh,
Thanks, James.
yeah, somebody who normally condescends to us is not here. That's
He's
right.
nicer to you than he is me, though.
That's right, Barb. You're not on this episode, and I don't have to take. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
Oh,
whatever.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I
I'm
sent her
kidding. It's
a
Chad.
meme earlier today, and then she just complained about how she would never do that act. And I was like, "This is just a funny meme. You're one of two other people on this list."
Oh,
She's funny. Ha ha ha.
yeah, no. I was just messing. As a callback, we got to where actually I was watching a couple of our episodes, and it seems to pass like 4 or 5. Um, it's if I feel joy in my heart, I know that's not really me. I need something to bring myself down to pessimism.
Yeah,
And I found if I listen to my own voice, I get real depressed real quick. Um, but anyway, no. So we don't have Chad this week,
yeah. We don't have
and
chat. So you're watching the last couple episodes. You went nowhere with that.
well, no, no, you said why, and but what I was gonna say is, oh yeah, no, I think Barb has came up in like 3 of the last 5 episodes. Don't quote
Yeah,
me on that.
I don't know. I was jacked up about it. She's going to be in town, I think, and wanted to hang out with us. And I don't.
That's
I did all very creepy.
people lowering their standards too much. I
Yeah,
think.
and we were go and truthfully, this week was also there's going to be another fan episode. One of our fans, Mary Ann, was supposed to be on. I just James didn't even know about this, but anyway, Mary Ann was going to be, and Mary Ann, you've never given me the topic. You let me know when and where.
In all fairness, though, we've done a lot of no topic episodes. We probably could have rolled. I
We
mean, we
could
could
have
have.
rolled. I know.
Um,
I know. So
but
we've had Jake and Barbara, but in the Marianne, and then we're going to get the skipper, the millionaire, and his wife.
but not the professor. Not
You're
the
the
professor.
professor.
Yeah, I will not handle that competition well.
You are the professor. That is absolutely.
Um, but no, so anyway, since Chad's not here, and people occasionally ask, hypothetically, oh, how long is this show going to go on?
I ask
The,
myself every week.
yeah, well, the answer is until we squeeze all the money out of it, and since no money's came out of it yet, we just keep thinking
Keep squeezing.
it's just eventually somewhere around that river bend.
Done,
It'll
this,
happen.
this, 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 yes, done shod. This
Yeah,
one
yeah.
done been shod.
So if you want us to stop doing the show, pay us, and we'll be like, well, it's not going to get more profitable than that, and we'll walk away. No,
Buy us
but
out, bitch.
but every blue moon, somebody will say, oh, if one of you quits, what will you do? Would you keep going? Would you not? And honestly,
Well,
we've
this
joked
actually
about
almost
this before.
happened when you moved to Mississippi.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was a thing. Our
yeah,
producer quit.
yeah. Which is funny. I wasn't going to quit, but you went, well, it's a good time for me to leave. kind of out
Look,
of
it was
left field.
editing it all together the way she did it. It
Yeah,
killed. Yeah, Haley quit.
yeah.
Or she had a love of you and her were having a love affair and it just didn't work out. I don't know.
I don't know if that's true. I'd like to think I would have been involved if that was true. I don't know.
There's no reason
Um,
to screw up a good love affair.
yeah, yeah. Why mess that up by getting the other person
Or
involved?
by the other person involved.
You say either, I say ether. Whatever.
Either one of us has had more rumors said about them. Actually, it's me. But James, you
Yeah,
probably come in a deep fourth.
yeah.
And
Out of the three of
no
us,
one.
I'm fourth. Um,
You know what? There are rumors about you from time to time, but nothing.
it's never anything cool.
It's not anything cool.
It's never a thing. It's not like, oh no, he's got a movie deal coming. No,
No.
that never happens. Or it's never, oh no, seriously, he had to get a restraining order against that famous actress because she wouldn't leave him. None of that happened.
No.
It's always like, no, he's got a terrible disease.
So
He's
people have asked you who you would replace, who we
well,
would.
no, people have said, if one of us quit, would we keep going on? And I always make the joke. I made it from the beginning that much like Monty Python, I want to Eric Idle this. I will just keep going. It will be just me, and I'll still refer to us as the Boneheads, and nobody else will be here. It'll be me in the asylum with a fake camera on, going, "No, this is a show. This is still a show."
By the way, not to talk about a callback. You know who just messaged me asking if tomorrow night would work?
Who?
See previous person, and we're talking about supposed to be on.
I love the fact I said "who" as earnestly as I could. Um, I mean, it could work. I teach
No,
till
no, we're
10.
good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. One.
Yeah. This anyway, because I teach, you see,
Right.
twice a week. Um, but no, so people have asked, and I've literally made this joke that I just made. It's the joke that I make is that no, I want this to, and it's funny because now, if we believe the interwebs, the truth and the complications of Monty Python are starting to come to light. And I used to joke about all the time that I would just keep this going without the other two, and so anyway, but yeah,
Where are you going with that? What happened
every
with
blue
Python
moon.
lately?
Well, the Eric Idle and,
Well, yeah,
John Cleese
that was
and
at
all
least
that.
a month ago, wasn't it?
Well, but it's still. I mean, it's still. I don't think they're in a better spot now. And Michael Palin is doing a book tour now, and I got an autographed book by him. It's cool. Anyway,
Well, you suck.
yeah, yeah. Well, all I had to do was go to London. Anyway,
Kentucky.
the but yeah. So the question becomes, and since Chad's not here, we need a topic, and I was like, let's just do this. So hypothetically, if one of us left permanently and money was no object, and it's not because we don't have any, and
Hmm.
so it's not an object we can get our hands on anyway, who would we replace? Oh, we'll use Chad since he's not here. Who would we replace Chad with? And I actually gave this some thought, and I've got some good celebrity ideas
Who?
to start with. Actually, and it's true. I was saying about it.
Nobody from the A list, surely. It's Chad.
Oh, I don't know. Well, I think he's still A-list. I don't know. I don't keep track. I'm not on your IMDb's looking at their star meters. I don't do that.
Oh my
But
God.
actually,
We have a story about that.
I know. Um, well, their star meter rating isn't very high. He's
Yes,
a
not.
living legend.
Oh
Anyway,
my God.
anyway.
James and I could tell you this is before the Griffiths own Scarefest. I don't keep your story. We'll see how this episode goes, but it's a
But
good story.
no. So I literally was saying, I'm like, who would be somebody that I think I could talk to, but would disagree with us enough to be entertaining, but also would be likable and would probably actually get more views. And
Yeah.
honestly, it dawned on me.
Who?
Channing Tatum.
What? Oh, okay. Channing
No, no.
Tatum.
That this is the word. Like I was sitting there, I'm like, he did this. It's the word, or this is, yeah, whatever. This
Well,
is the
that's what I
end.
was about to say. So you beat
This
you
is,
you literally are taking the question out of my mouth. Hold on. Are
yeah.
we getting the world's end or this is it or whatever it's called? Like you've got me screwed up.
This is the end, right?
This is the end. Well, no, there's not a question mark with right. This is the end. Channing Tatum, this is the end, or Magic Mike, this is the end. Channing Tatum.
Well, we need both. One will get us views from the ladies because they love this is the end.
I was
They
about to
just
say, and the
constantly,
other one will attract old friends and colleagues.
yeah, yeah. But no, I honestly, and the reason I was saying about it is I was thinking about somebody that has done like he doesn't just play one type. He seems in interviews he seems pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
And I was like, he would be. I mean, I don't
I
want
feel the same
Chad
way
to
about
leave.
Gaga, by the way.
Yeah, I don't want Chad to leave, but if Chad left and Channing Tatum called us up and said, "Hey, I heard Chad left. Can I be the third Bonehead?" Now he'd have to keep his head shaved because we're not changing the art.
No, no, and
No.
he's God. I mean, how could he do Magic Mike and not be a character actor?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, but that well, honestly,
I
I was
think I
trying to
might
think
have
of
actually
somebody.
seen one of those movies. I think I did watch one.
I was trying to think so, and it literally, because I was thinking like sarcastic answers, but I'm like, no, he actually probably would. I could picture him,
Yeah.
being entertaining, but also giving us the business the way Chad
Oh
does.
yeah, the business and the business is good.
So yeah, no, I mean, just given the movies that he's done, the variety of films, and the fact that he's willing to make fun of himself, right? I think that's a key component. If people want to know what do you have to be a bonehead, you have to be able to make fun of yourself, and you have to be able to give and take abuse from your co-host. I mean, I think that's fair.
I think it's not fair. I think you're a fucking idiot. And now
Boy, if
are we giving examples, James? What was
oh,
I doing there?
he's also in Bullet Train. He has one of the best scenes in Bullet Train.
Yeah, I actually trying to remember that. So back to you, James.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum.
Oh, it's just the first, like, it was the first person that came to mind where I was like, he makes fun of himself in roles. He does in Bullet Train. He
Oh,
does in,
no, but he
uh,
isn't quite as pretty as Chad.
well, and again, he's going to have to keep it. We're not changing the art. Ken Kirk did our artwork for if nobody knows that. I mean, if you've forgotten that, he's been
Well, it's
on our
at the
show
credits
before.
on YouTube every
Yeah. Well, but people don't watch the credits unless it's a Marvel film. We're gonna have to start putting
That's
stingers
not
at
true.
the end.
I watched the credits this morning of Pixar's animated classic Inside Out 2.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's, by the way, 80% as good as the first one. So
Oh, yeah.
I was
That's
very
just pretty
pleased.
good ratio. Pretty
I'm
good ratio.
serious. It's about 80% as good as the first one. And I'm still trying to figure out is that me judging it because the first one's so inventive and this is kind of continuation. I don't
Yeah.
know. Anyway, so all right,
So
Channing Tatum. Is it my
yeah,
turn? What are you
yeah,
giving?
yeah. No, go ahead. We'll just talk it out. We'll recast Chadway's not here.
So two things. One, look at this hat. Two, Chad's always meaner to me than you.
Somebody told me, a
And
mutual
by the
friend of
way, I'm
ours.
always meaner probably to Chad than you too.
Yeah, no, what a mutual friend of ours told me this several years ago, and he meant it as an observation, not a compliment. He said, I don't know what it is about you, but nobody is gets mad at you. People get mad and they get mad in your direction, but it's not something that sticks around. And I know the answer to why.
I mean,
I,
yeah,
I'm
you've
I'm
been
pretty
over an
milk
hour.
toast.
No, that's not it at all. Milk toast. It's more like milk toast. But I'm yeah, you made me late for vacation one year.
Now, in all fairness, yes, I did. Yeah, no,
I don't think we talked to West Virginia.
I fell asleep
Christy was
partially.
at one time. Christy didn't talk to. I think it was North Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I fell asleep in the car though. That was part of that. I was
By the way, that's a for you bonehead fans out there. I still think it's weird that we have fans, but for the fan, for you bonehead fans, I have a wonderful picture of Dr. Jerkface in the back seat of my car, my
back in the
1992
caddy.
Cadillac Fleetwood. I love it. It's still my favorite car I ever owned. It's also the biggest piece of shit I ever owned too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But it was lovely, and that back seat, James, was
Oh man, that was a boat. It was
he's
fun.
so passed out snoring with like you have the Gilligan bucket hat.
I got the kill bucket hat.
Yeah.
I've got four of those now. I have every time I go somewhere. If I don't have one, and I know I'm going to be out in the sun, I buy a new one. I've got
So
four or
for
five of
any
them.
of you all who will pay me 10 American dollars, I will show you or get you a copy of said picture. I have it somewhere in the house. I also have,
We actually should do, and maybe that's what we need to do, a Kickstarter. We'll set our goal of at $100, and we'll do a scrapbook for whoever donates the most.
that would be funny. But I also have one for the next year because James decided to go off and get fired. and wasn't working, was and couldn't. I can't remember why he couldn't.
Our spring breaks were different.
Spring breaks are different. I couldn't remember why he didn't swing it. Chad's in the same back seat. No, I don't. Took my dad's Grand Marquis. But anyway, Chad's in the back seat, and he literally slept almost all the way there and all the way back.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, and I won't go
There
into
is a good story
details.
about Atlanta. Is that where you're going
Yeah,
with this?
where he woke up in Atlanta and you told him if he wasn't good, he'd drop him off where you were. And it
Yeah,
wasn't exactly the pristine part of Atlanta.
yeah.
And
And
he
then
started
he
screaming,
literally
"I'll be
woke
good.
up. He
I'll be
woke up
good."
while we were going by and started screaming, no, I swear to God, I'll be good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say any more about this story, but the punchline is no, I swear I'll be good.
Yeah, just the fact that he woke up right then worked
Right
so
then.
well. Anyway,
He also sat in gum in Disney.
which is they don't sell
They
gum.
don't sell gum.
So he had to find the one place that
He had to,
somebody else had just expectorated gum on a bench.
did that mean spay it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that because of Gaston.
Yeah.
He's especially good at expectorating.
Yeah.
My, what a guy, Gaston.
So I'm having a hard time with this because there's a couple people I might replace Chad with. You ever seen that George Clooney? He's handsome.
Yeah, no,
But back to your point, James, as Michael Davis said, I'm the handsome bonehead. Yes, I get to bring it back. And I
yeah, so
can't
that's
have
it.
George Clooney being more handsome than me.
And again, we're not changing the art. So is George Clooney
No.
willing to shave his head or wear a bald cap? If he wants to egg-head it up like Vincent Price did, hey, I support that. But
If I could get Sean Connery, I'd do that.
oh yeah, yeah.
Where, he didn't say anything for in every 5 to 7 minutes. You stupid morons.
Why'd I agree to do
What the
this?
fucking stick.
Yeah, no, which by the way would still be one of the biggest honors in my life. And that's when Sean Connery
That's like,
called
I
me
will
an
work
effing moron.
Michael McBay. Michael Bay was a less of an asshole.
Oh,
Okay, Sean Connery would still be the handsome one, though.
how about this, Joe? I've got an idea
Destro?
for you. Yeah, how about that? Actually,
Destro would also be way cooler than. Can
well,
we
I
use
was about to
fictional
say,
characters?
I was going to say that because I thought for a second, my second choice, I was like, could we get Starscream?
Mm,
Just because every
let's
time
do it.
Starscream,
So I would totally pick Starscream over Chad Jennings.
can you imagine just the amount of time? Like he asks a stupid question, and we get to do the best line ever.
You
You have
failed
failed me
me again, Chad. I
for
mean,
the last time.
failed me for the last time. Um, and his voice is just so much better than Chad's. Are we shitting on Chad too much because he's not here?
No, I don't think so. In all fairness, next
I
time
haven't.
I'm in,
He would be
actually,
doing.
I've listened to some episodes I've not been on. No, we're not saying anything bad
Also,
about.
didn't you? The one thing I had to miss, I had to miss a Bonehead Weekly fun size for the Aussies. Didn't you bastards make fun of me for that?
Dude, in all fairness,
I actually have never went back and listened to it.
whether or not the camera was rolling or not, I don't know, but I'm betting yes. I mean, I could lie to
But
you.
no, seriously, Destro. Think about this. Bald.
Yeah,
Yeah.
art stays the same. Might have to
Art
do
stays-
some color correction, but yeah.
Nappy dresser.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
When we do the Bonehead Weekly lives, which for some odd reason James is always on the other side of the earth and hasn't been to half a dozen of them at Comic Con and Scarefest.
Yeah, yeah.
I know. I'm sorry.
No,
You have to look
I
sad.
try. I
I know.
try.
Look
I'm
sad. We
working on
always
it.
miss you.
I'm
So
working on it.
we could have him on the panel. Can you imagine what a panel we'd have if Destro was the third Bonehead?
Oh yeah, and I'll
He'd
be
coming in
honest.
asking Cobra questions.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
we
and
hold
I'll
on,
be
but then we wouldn't be. We would be the least in. Right now, you and I are the most interesting boneheads. Then we'd be the least
well.
interesting.
Now here's the tipping point. Do you think
We
occasionally?
can't replace Chad, maybe.
Do you think? Do you think he might bring the Baroness with him though to
All
live
right, he's
events?
in.
I mean,
He's in.
I'm not.
And we have to replace Chad. He's in, and we have to replace Chad because Chad and I, not James and I. James has a different. This is a long conversation, but Chad and I have the same. I don't want to say.
Type.
Yeah, well, more of we both like girls. We like girls with dark hair
Yeah, yeah.
usually.
Which
Ladies.
is funny. funny
Right.
because I'm
Both of
married.
us, yes, a dark-haired lady, and you're more of a blonde person, and then I'm,
Yeah.
yes, 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 yes.
First, first,
We
first,
all know where we went wrong, James. Get it
first
back up.
brunette I dated. I ended up married. Anyway,
No,
so
that's
yeah, no, I
oh,
think
you put
I
out.
think you're onto something. I think fictional character, and also I
Actually,
think
Cobra Commander would be awesome too. Actually, I
well,
might even prefer Cobra Commander.
and here's the entire thing. I think
It would
here's
be
where you're onto,
incredible.
and I'm not as big of a GI Joe fan as you and Chad. I don't own
I
the
can't get
complete
my kid
series or
into
anything.
it.
But here's where I think it's a good idea. We were joking earlier. We've never made any money.
Not from Bonehead. And seriously,
Cobra.
that's not us joking.
No, no, but Cobra Commander would find a way, or Destro would. Both of them.
Yeah.
Because think about now again, you may have to correct me. I'm not saying, but they're never running low on money for their scheme. Building that weather dominator, they weren't out, oh, I gotta get this NSF grant, build this
Yeah.
weather dominator. Or, oh, we're gonna form a band, Slither. Was it Slither?
It's cold slither.
Cold Slither.
You
I'm
I almost
sorry.
called you a damned eunuch. I don't know why that would have been more.
At least you didn't call me a Yankee.
I
Uh
attacked the wrong head.
um
But I back
yeah, but yeah,
yeah,
so they never were low on money. So I would imagine they would be able to help us find, monetize
yeah,
this.
because Chad ain't gonna do that.
No, no.
You can get Chad to monetize shit.
No, you ask Chad to monetize something, all he does is talk about money penning from the Bond movie for 4 hours, and then by the end of it, you're like, never mind, I'll just
Never
pay you a set
mind.
of pocket.
I'll just, yeah, no, I've never, yeah, that's a really good point, dude.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say maybe we need a Cobra Commander. I mean,
Oh,
I'm not into villainy, unless it's Vincent Price, but outside of that, I'm not into villainy. But I understand.
right. Hmm. Also, Vincent Price would be an amazing guest host.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I know we're going to get a dislike on this, and one of you are going to do it just to be facetious, and that's fine. Who am I to
Mhm.
argue? But but yeah, no. I mean, can you imagine? Like, 'cause I would just sit there the entire time. Like, can you do the laugh from Thriller just once? That's cool.
Yeah.
Can you quote some Poe for me just once? It would
Yeah.
literally be the equivalent of Chris Farley's talk show thing, right? The Saturday Night Live
Mhm.
skit. You ever read that Poe stuff? That's cool.
Yeah. It's
I
not a
would,
bad
yeah.
idea. No, I like replacing who I still haven't came up with a good actor. Well, we went back and forth. Who's your other one?
Well, I was actually thinking about this, and this is true because I was trying to think of who could we get, and of course, people are going to expect me to say Harlan Ellison, and I thought about it for a second, but I don't want to ruin that for myself. I was saying, who could we get that also has an immense amount of pop culture knowledge that's really tied into the zeitgeist? Um, and I thought about, and Joe, you may know exactly where this is going. So it used to be this author.
Uh-huh.
He's not really well known, but he had a column for a while on Entertainment Weekly,
Yeah.
and I thought
Even
maybe,
after he said he was retiring.
yeah, I thought maybe he would be a good third host for a while to replace Chad. Just simply because I don't want him to. I mean, if he wanted to, yes, of course, I would say talk about your work, but I would literally just like to say, man, let's talk, do what we do on the show, right? Hey,
Mhm.
what topic do you want this week? You want to talk about music from the '60s? Let's go. What because
Yeah.
I think I was thinking back to his. We're talking about Stephen King. I guess I should say that out
Yeah, yeah,
loud.
yeah, might as well. But I think most people got it though, don't you think?
Yeah, yeah. But I think Stephen King when he did his because I'm not. I admire Stephen King as an author. I think I have
Right.
read some of his stuff. I appreciate it. I'm not as huge a fan as Joe or is, but I
What?
th
It's not like you own every book.
no. Well, I mean,
I own almost all of them.
yeah, no. But
Actually, I probably do own all of them. I've been collecting first edition hardbook. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm a
but what I think, and the reason I have he came to mind, even though I'm not as big a fan of his fiction as you are, is that I was in Dance Macabre
yeah.
and Writing. Is that it? Stephen
Yeah,
King's
on
Writing
writing. It's
on
one of the
Writing.
best books about on well, literally on writing.
And so both of the, but for those reasons, and his Entertainment Weekly column, where he basically did just talk pop culture, I'm like, man, he would fit right in. I don't think he's going to call us up, but he would be just a phenomenal third member of the Bonehead
Yeah.
if Chad left permanently under mysterious circumstances. Cut to Stephen King misering Chad just to get on our show.
Um, you know who else is handsome like Chad? And but once again, it'd have to show. But it's one of those, he's almost too pretty, and it's what we've talked about, pretty people being funny. It's unfortunate. It shouldn't happen. They're freaks of nature. But another person who'd probably be a lot of fun to hang out with is Chris Hemsworth.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree with
I
that.
mean, he's slightly prettier than Chad, maybe. Depends on if you like hair or no hair.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I
he's more
mean,
talented than Chad.
he does have more hair on him than a peanut butter sandwich. Here's a 3% joke and on a good
Uh,
day.
Chad,
Um,
I
uh,
see more hair on a peanut butter sandwich than what's on your head, Chad.
but no, yeah, no, I agree. And I think the thing about Chris Hemsworth is, again, he's one of those actors that takes roles I would take, right? Like I've never seen anything where I'm like, nah, I would have took that if I was him, right?
Right.
I mean, say what you will about the Ghostbuster film that a lot of people like to talk negatively about, but if they called me up right now and said, listen, we're making an all hamster version of Ghostbusters, and we would like you to be the one human, and I'm showing up on set, and I dare any of you to blame me.
Yeah.
I would actually totally be in an all hamster version of Ghostbusters. I'll be playing the part of the firehouse.
Well, like
Let's
you
not get
said,
into the logistics of that.
he was the best part, but I mean to be that funny and pretty,
Mhm.
I would have thought, why didn't you haven't said like Christopher Walken or anybody?
Well, he was on my list, and but he was, and I thought about it, and honestly, believe it or not, I really do love this show, and I think Christopher Walken would be a dream guest or a repeat, but I don't know about him as a host. I
I
don't
think it would
know.
just the non sequiturs were well. So we have a friend, and well, they still have a friend. He stopped talking to me, but he one of the best things on earth, and I love him to death. But one of the best things on earth, and he was one of he is well, he's not dead. I just haven't talked to him in years. He's one of the funniest people I've ever met because of the non sequiturs, and James
Yeah,
knows, and that would be what I'd love about Chris Walken. So yeah, Frankenstein never scared me, you know.
yeah.
Or we were talking about I don't know anything.
Well, no, no, and there's a famous story. It's one of my favorite stories, and allegedly it's true. Jay Moore talking about working with him on Suicide Kings, and they were both getting their makeup done. And, you're getting your makeup done, making small talk, and Jay Moore tells this story. Actually, he's told it on radio shows. He's told it multiple places, and Jay Moore does a pretty good Christopher Walken impersonation. And he says, they were getting their makeup done, and out of the blue, Christopher Walken says, "If you had the choice between having a tail or the power of flight, what would you choose?" And Jay Moore, he says it exactly this way. Jay Moore says, "Before I can get the T out in flight,"
Hmm.
Christopher Walken immediately goes, "No, no, tail. You'd have a tail." And he goes back and forth, and he goes, and he finally, the end of the story is Christopher Walken's logic, speaking of non sequitur, is, listen, we live in a modern age. You can get on a plane and fly. But if you have a tail, people would know how you were feeling. People could look over and be like, Chris's tail is wagging. He's having a good day. And it's one of the weirdest things. And he said, and then I had to go act in a movie for 3 weeks with that guy. And every time I looked at him, I thought I couldn't get the T out in flight before he told me I should have a tail. So there you go. So I agree. I think that would be really entertaining. And of course, if Christopher Walken calls us up and wants to do the show, and Chad doesn't leave, I'll quit just because I want to see those episodes. I would lovingly step down for a few weeks to let the Christopher Walken edition run.
We also haven't mentioned women.
I was thinking about that, and you're right. because I was trying to think who would put up with this, right? I mean, who would, and I had some thought.
I
I
only
mean,
know one. I know your dream one. The
real
goat.
who? I seriously, I don't know who would
She's
put up.
fictional.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you talking about like Daria? I could do
Daria.
Daria.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. I think
Our dream Chad replacement would be Daria from Daria. Well, for
yeah,
James.
yeah, yeah. Oh well,
Mine would be Jabberjaws. Do it
I
one time. One more motherfucking Jabberjaw and motherfucking Jabberjaw time. Do it, motherfucker. I'll shoot you in your shark face. Yeah, I can treat him like Chad.
yeah. Well, actually, that you opened up an entire thing. I didn't think about it because Jabberjaw was more or less a parody of Mo, or not Mo, Curly
Curly.
from Three Stooges. Um, but I would argue you're absolutely right. Actually, who it should be. Now that you brought up, you made me actually think. There's one fictional character that would bring the same passion, dedication, forthrightness to Chad, but may have a one up on Chad as far as his ability to interrogate and interview people.
Yeah.
It's Harvey Birdman. I honestly, I think just because you mentioned Jabberjaw, and then I immediately start thinking about all the Harvey Birdman and Speedy. Speedy has a drug addiction. Anyway, Speed Bug. Um,
I cannot do that.
but no, so I was like,
One
oh
more
yeah,
time,
no.
motherfucker. You jabber
It,
one more time.
I literally could see just Harvey Birdman, uh, attorney at law, being the third bonehead. It would be, a great cross examination.
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't be any worse than Space Ghost, which is kind of who Chad is.
Yeah. Well, actually, Ken Seven would also be haha Birdman. Just everything. I just haha Joe Lewis.
Joe Lewis. And then I don't have people that would replace Chad, but I have people who I would be a fantastic guest host.
Like okay, let's we've been joking about replacing Chad because he's never going to watch this.
And we
Uh,
can't pay and we
no,
can't pay
no, we
anybody.
would
And
never.
Chad
We
does
would
it for does it for the peanuts.
for the same thrill that we get, which tells you how thrillless our lives are.
Right.
So no, no, I think you're right. So anyway, you were saying no. So let's take it replacing Chad. But yes, if we were going to add, let's say hypothetically, a fourth host to our cadre, who would you add?
I would love, you have to go in just because he's so honest, and I would have loved for him to talk about things that weren't just movies. Uh, And we had a director and cinematographer on here before, BJ McDonald, talk about working with him too, but William Friedkin.
Oh
If you
yeah,
ever get a chance to look up some William Friedkin, in fact, he did a movie I like called Cruising, which I want to recommend but can't recommend because it depends on who you are whether I should recommend it to you or not. And Al Pacino never cared for the movie. And if you can just Google William Friedkin's opinions and points on Al Pacino, hilarious. Or him talking about trying to direct Tommy Lee Jones and Benicio del Toro in the same scene because the two were completely from different fucking planets. Just if you get a chance, check him out. William Friedkin. I think that would be cool to have Friedkin on the show. I mean, he's dead now. Friedkin and Paul Verhoeven. Paul Verhoeven's also nuttier than fruitcake, and Paul would be a fantastic guest, but I'd like to just have him as a co-host.
yeah, yeah. No, it would be yes, absolutely.
But that's me because I'm a true in my heart a film geek. So
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, again, I think so many people would think I would say Harlan Ellison, but it's kind of the reason I also wouldn't say Quentin Tarantino. I think we
yeah,
would
I didn't pick him either.
it wouldn't mesh with what we do, and that's not me taking away from like Quentin Tarantino's going to hear about this and be like, screw that guy. Actually,
We'd have him
that
as
would
a guest. We'd had loved to have
oh
him as a guest, but I mean, as co-host, no, because he's just James is right. It's not it doesn't work.
yeah.
Um, who else? Those would be my two just weirdos. I'm trying to think.
Actually,
There's a ton of dream guests. I can't
oh
now. I'm going into guests, and that's not what the
no,
point.
I
We
would I
probably need
would
to wrap
find it
this up anyway.
fascinating to have like Bryan Cranston as a the fourth host because if you've listened to his biography or Ron Perlman, either one of those as a host,
Depending on your
because
food, which would also be like Jack.
but yeah, but I mean, if you've listened to either one of their autobiographies,
Yeah.
Ron Perlman's "It's Easy Street the Hard Way" is well worth reading or doing the audiobook. And what is Bryan Cranston's? I
I
forget
re
the name of his.
I listened to the audiobook as well. I can't remember. He's a
But both of them
that
are,
you listened to it, right? Did we
yeah,
have this I can't remember if I ever had the conversation, but I'd stayed in the Hawaiian Inn at Daytona Beach where that guy was murdered, that they were
yeah.
accused where they were working.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I've told you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, no, I didn't know you stayed there, but I
Yeah,
I remember that
it's
story in the
Hawaii
book.
so much for I just rolled it out. And you know how I am with names.
Yeah.
That dad took me twice with two different ones. I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
let
I've
me
never
make this.
actually uttered that sentence, and I don't know that it occurred to me right then that he had taken me to the same place. He took me on vacation two times after he and my mom divorced, two times. And it was both to the Hawaiian Inn for 3 or 4 days in beautiful Daytona Beach. And yeah, with two different women now that I think about it. Didn't realize that. So anyway, yeah, it fantastic. James, dead air, dead air.
No, no, I
Probably need
was
to wrap up anyway.
well, and that's so. Here's the flip side. Then I think as we wrap this up, we've done jokingly who we'd replace Chad with, and quite frankly, who you could replace me with as well. But I think the opposite is, and include fictional in this. Who would be the worst people to replace one of us with?
Michael Moore. It's funny how you can agree with somebody on a host of topics, but yet just kind of loathe them. Um, I don't like arrogant people. So
Yeah, yeah.
I guess there's a couple of other filmmakers I don't think I'd want anything. I'm trying to think who's really Perlman walks that line in
Yeah,
per
but he's passionate about film and books. Like I said, if you listen to his
in
or read
person.
his, yeah,
He was nice to me, but
yeah.
I gave him a compliment that pissed off one of the other people on the panel. But anyway, it worked for me. So who do we not want? I'm sticking
I
with Michael
I
Moore as my first one.
I've got my first one we would not want,
Hmm.
honestly, just because I don't think she would add anything, and I don't mean to be sexist. We never actually did talk about some women. Daria would be one that I would want.
Hmm.
I would say Wednesday or Morticia Adams would be other ones. I would be like, oh, they'd
Oh,
be
those would be
phenomenal.
good.
They would be
One of mine,
entertaining.
and no joke, I forgot what I was going to say earlier. It was when I was going off Channing Tatum. I was going to say Gaga. I think Lady
Yeah.
Gaga.
Oh yeah, no, it would be entertaining, I think, and again, bring something to the
Yeah,
conversation. Here's somebody that would be the
very funny
worst
person.
female replacement for one of us if one of us leaves. And you may disagree. I know you're a fan, but um, I just don't think she'd bring much to the conversation. Henrietta from the fruit cellar. There's only so many
Well, she
times.
would. She would. It's one track. It's about the
Yeah,
French
yeah. It's like,
sauce.
it's one of those things like, oh, someone's on our
But
show.
once
I'll
again,
swallow
she's
your soul.
fairly bald.
Yeah, that's
The
true.
head
I mean,
side's right. The head size is about right, like a bastard pig. So
yeah.
I don't know that
But
people would notice so much that that wasn't Chad.
but I just think again, it wouldn't add much to the interviews. Like, oh, our guest this week is Paul Giamatti. I'll swallow your soul. Listen, Henrietta, can we get him on the air first?
Love to have him as a guest, but a bad co-host would be Bruce Campbell. He would be so uninterested.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Again, yeah. I think
Shatner in
Shatner.
another.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's fair. Um, you know, I'm gonna go the opposite side too. And again, I know you're more of a fan than I am, and the voice would
Henrietta
be
was
so.
pulling something out of your ass.
Actually, no, I was literally sitting there. Who would be the worst? Because it's one track, right? You're absolutely right.
Mhm.
It'd be like, listen, if you ask one more question about can I swallow your soul, you're off this show. We're not putting up with this.
Yep.
It's getting harder and harder to get guests. The Pope's on the line. He's not happy. Um, Optimus Prime probably wouldn't be. The
Oh, because it would
voice,
be interesting.
yeah, the voice would. but it would be like, don't walk behind a horse. Here's some other lessons. Don't go near quicksand. Yes, Optimus, we get it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He would be so boring. I would prefer to have Starscream,
Yeah.
Destro, Megatron, hell, Soundwave. Come on in
What's
before.
the what's the dinosaur one? I forget his name. The T-Rex one.
Oh, gee. Okay, so we need a Transformer guy because I once again, Chad would have just told me.
Yeah, and if he does listen to this, you all will know because at the beginning of the next episode he's on, he's going to begin with "You idiots" or some variation of, and then he'll be, "How can you forget the name of I don't know Dino Blast or whatever his name is?"
Falcor.
Oh, yeah, actually, that's you know what? Actually, there's one more we need to add that would be a good
What?
guess because Joe and I don't think I don't mean to insult us, but we're not lore. We're not one of these podcasts that has billions of followers.
No,
So we probably couldn't get Optimus Prime anyway,
no.
but I think we could get the leader of the villains from GoBots.
Yeah, I don't remember
What's his?
the names.
What's his? We could probably get him. I think he would do our show
I
as a
don't
guest, as
remember
a
the names.
host. And just be like, oh. So anyway, that's just
There you
one.
go. Yeah, I think that's good. So that's been who we would and wouldn't do. Um,
As new host.
also that's been who we wouldn't replace Chad with.
So yeah, so alternatively, just FYI, if in the future there needs to be a Bonehead, the next generation,
Yeah,
Star Trekking this up.
my kid
Um,
already is
oh
primed
man,
and
yeah,
ready to
no,
go.
I actually, to be honest, if I'm ever found dead, and the first thing that my son says when you see him is, "Well, since he can't do Bonehead anymore, it
More.
will help my grieving process if I replaced him." I'm just saying, check that knife for prints. Just check it. Just double check it. Humor me.
Yep.
Um.
Don't disagree with you.
So yeah, yeah, no, no. But yeah, yeah. So I don't know if Chad's offspring would be interested in replacing him
I
though.
don't think so. Maybe Haley, but probably not.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Anyway,
All
so
right.
this has been the episode
Bone.
Chad will never actually watch, where we were pitched replacements for him. But Chad, again, just real quick, I know we gotta go, but notice that we did not say we'd replace you with Henrietta. So you got that going
You got
for
that
you.
going
And
for
that's
you.
not nothing.
No. And we were going to make Channing Tatum shave his balls. Or was his head? Which one matches Chad? This has been Bonehead Weekly Fun Size. No, it's not fun size.
Go to the stats.
See ya.